All right, guys, welcome. Episode 3 of Bricked Up. I'm your host, Brick. I'm not currently bricked up. Today, I got a very special guest with me. Longtime Overwatch coach who's worked with every top NA team and is currently coaching for Winthrop, and most recently was announced as the coach for the new and improved Dallas Fuel, Wheats. Woo! Welcome, bro. Welcome.
Hello.
How are things going, man?
Going pretty good. Just doing school and getting ready to go to Korea on Saturday.
Oh,
So
for the boot camp.
yeah, the preseason boot camp's coming up. So
Dude, that's crazy. So, do you also go to school at Winthrop?
yeah. So I'm a student.
Oh, awesome.
I'm a
Very
student
cool.
coach.
Is this your bachelor's or is this a master's?
Bachelor.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I graduate in December. So
Oh, dude, congrats, man. That's awesome.
thank you. Yeah, I
Bro,
might come back for my master's. I'm not sure yet.
there you go. And I mean, because I'm assuming you're on scholarship, right, to coach at Winthrop?
Yeah,
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
everything's paid for. So
Dude, that's fire. Well, so you have Korea in a week. Like, how does that feel?
it's exciting. I was in Sweden when they announced everything, and I was like, wow, I really got to get a partner team next year to
Yeah.
to be a part of that. So I'm excited to go back to Korea. I really like going to Korea. I was there twice last year. It's probably my favorite place we get to travel. So
I would definitely love to go. I was actually just in Japan for ALGS, and I mean, it was just
mhm.
beautiful. So cool. So, first official question: what made you start playing Overwatch?
I was like 17, so it was 2016, and I had some friends in my German class that were playing Overwatch that I played Counter Strike with. So I played TF2 when I was like 13, 14, and then I got into Counter Strike when I was like 15, 16, and then I was really big into the esport for Counter Strike at that time, and I was like, oh wow, like there's people getting paid to play pro video games, right? So that's so crazy. But I knew Counter Strike was like so far along, there's like no chance I'm starting now in 2016, like I could go pro, right?
Right.
Just started playing when I'm like 16 years old, and I'm like, all right, it's too late for that. But Overwatch had just came out, and at first I was like, oh, this is like a TF2 ripoff, I was like being a teenager
Right.
about it. But then uh, my friends, were like, oh, just try it, like, because it was like $40 back then, so like I actually had to buy it
Yep.
to get into it. But yeah, I pretty much fell in love with it right away when I started playing. I mean, that was back when everyone loved Overwatch. That was game of the year time, so
Yeah.
there's a lot to love, and there wasn't really a game like that before that mixed like MOBA cooldowns with like first person shooters. So and the hero shooter, like just everything was so awesome about the game. And at the time, I was just like I was the most casual fan. Like I loved like the war. I was like posting memes on Facebook about it. Like I was a real casual fan of Overwatch back then. So
Yeah, 100%. That definitely, yeah, I mean, I remember that era. I also started playing when I was 17 because, fun fact, I was looking at your Liquipedia page. We have the same birthday month. It's
oh
actually
really?
crazy. Yeah, our birthdays are like a week apart. That's so
That's
cool.
sick.
Yeah. So also, so I'm not that old, thank God. We're
Hmm.
not unk. We are not unk.
I don't know. In esports, I feel pretty old with the
I know,
all
bro.
these teenagers I'm coaching.
Dude, it's insane. I couldn't even imagine, like, I mean, I guess I could because I coach, but the new up and comers, like, being these 18 and 19 year olds, and then like constantly being around and like having seen the team
Yeah.
grow as long as you have, it must be crazy.
Well, that's the crazy part about coaching is, I keep getting older and like, because I was a young coach for a
Right.
while, but now I'm finally at the age where it's like I'm appropriate esports coach age. But
Right.
the players have stayed the same age the whole time, so it's like just
Yeah,
always rotating in new guys.
for sure. That's so funny. Um so as you started to play Overwatch, you said you were super casual. I think it's hilarious that you just said that you posted on Facebook for memes. What made you start wanting to compete or, like, get into the competitive side?
Yeah, so I watched Counter Strike esports a lot, and then I was like, okay, there must be Overwatch esports. And actually, at the time, there was so I was watching like Apex Korea, like actually like Team Envy playing in Korea and stuff in like 2016. and 2017. So like those early years of Overwatch, like pre-Al,
Yeah.
like early season contenders when contenders was tier 1, like uh just like all that pre-Overwatch era esports or Overwatch League era esports, like I really fell in love with the game. And then they also showed Overwatch on TV during one of the first there was this show they used to show on TNT that would play Counter-Strike matches called E-League.
Oh.
And me and my friends used to go to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch E-League because it was like sponsored. So we would watch Counter-Strike on TV, and then one day they're like, "Oh, we have an Overwatch tournament." It was like some major in Atlanta because that's where the TNT studios are. So they had the E-League tournament in Atlanta on TV, and me and my friends watched that. That was like the Reaper Nano Boost Speed Boost meta,
Oh
like Season
gosh.
2 Overwatch. Yeah, so it was like a really long time ago, and I don't know. There was just so many like hype moments, and like I'm like, wow, this game's so new. Like I could go pro in it, like. So then I started like really try harding the game. Like even I wasn't that good at it, but I still was like had my aspirations of going pro. So
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, and it's crazy to think about that it was on TV pre Overwatch League. I didn't actually know that. That's a fun fact because like everyone, I always remember when it was partnered with Overwatch League and it was on Disney
yeah,
XD and
yeah,
Esports
Disney and
or
stuff. Yeah,
ESPN. It was just crazy.
I mean, I was a big fan too of Overwatch League, like season 1 and 2. Before I started like moving into the space where I'm like competing against these guys, where I'm like, this isn't cool anymore. Like I gotta beat these guys now. Like like then it's like not as much as a fan. I'm just watching to watch it pretty much. Because like not to learn. I mean, there's still moments where I definitely watch and feel like a fan when I'm out, but uh, back then I used to watch every single game, like
Yeah.
be obsessed, be typing in Twitch chat, like all that. So
Yeah, for sure. So what did you actually peak in? Like, what's your peak rank and like in peak SR or anything like that in Overwatch?
in Overwatch 1, it was like 4100. Most of my time competing, I was like 3900, like Lucio player,
Oh, you
playing with
play
a
main
bunch of
sport.
people. Yeah, so I played like Zen for a while, and then I was like, I'm not good enough at Zen. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play Lucio because I played Zen until it became the Mercy
Right.
Mercy meta, and then Zen wasn't good, so I started playing Mercy because I didn't play. I forget what the other support was. I think it was Anna.
Well,
I
it
don't
was
know.
Mercy's in back then, but like,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
Mercy Zen, but like in ranked, like don't
Oh
ever
yeah,
play Mercy. So
for
I'm
sure.
like always playing Mercy because Mercy's broken. I'm like, you need Mercy to win.
Yeah, real.
So uh, I ended up just becoming a main support through the Mercy meta, then going to Lucio when Goats came out.
There you
So
go.
yeah, I played Lucio pretty much with a bunch of people that were like way better than me, and then I was like, all right, well, I'm definitely the limiting factor on this team. Uh, so we got like top 16 in open division in like early 2018, and then I was like, all right, well, I should probably figure out how to get involved in this esports some way else because I'm already
You felt
19
like you were
years
getting
old.
capped out, or that sort of
Yeah,
thing. Really?
well, I was 19, and I'm like, how many people make a big jump when they're 19 to 21? Like, this was when the Overwatch League was like every year the best players coming in, like freshly 18. So I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm past that. Like, I'm probably not gonna get that much better.
No
If I
way.
wanna if I wanna go pro, I gotta figure out either as like a manager or a coach, right? So first I was like a manager for an open division team, uh, called Capital D Colon.
Nice,
That's back when that
classic name.
emote was popping off.
Yep, for sure.
And we had like I think the only players anyone would know were like Fishcake and Cyrus, like
Yeah.
the collegiate player who were on my team. And yeah, then after that, I was able to join Second Wind from that as a like just a VOD recorder. Like I wasn't really a coach or a manager. I was just like, because there was no replay system back then,
Oh yeah,
so
right. Holy
every
cow.
team had a VOD guy.
Yeah, yeah, they did.
So I was friends with a lot of the guys on Second Wind. I ended up meeting them just through like Twitch and stuff, like in Discords.
Yeah.
So I met a few guys on second win, and like I ended up in the server with all these pro players. So I'm like, all right, guys, like I'll do anything, just let me get involved. And I was like working like uh, I don't I don't know where you're from, but I don't know if you know Menards, but it's a
Oh,
Midwest
right.
like Home
Yeah.
Depot. Yeah, so I was working at Menards at the time, and then I'd come home and VOD record, uh, and then I ended up learning a lot, just talking to just Flubby and Pew and Made were the coach my first season.
Yeah.
So yeah, just being the one with all the VODs and like always listening to them talk and stuff. Learned about a lot about the game, and then by my second season there, I was an assistant coach, and then I kind of worked up through that. So
Yeah. I mean, what a come up to just start like to get into coaching by just VOD recording, which is just so crazy that like you unlocked a deep seated memory because I totally forgot that teams had to have one of those because the
yeah,
replay code reviewer didn't come in until I don't know, maybe I want to say it was maybe 2020. Let's say 2019, but that still feels too early. I think it was 2020, somewhere
I think
around
it
there.
was late 2019, early 2020.
Yeah, yeah, which
Probably
is
sounds about right.
that's so funny.
Yeah,
So you started a VOD record with Second Wind, like, and then you became an assistant coach for them. Who was on that roster
yeah.
at the time? Because I don't remember.
The first second wind was actually insanely stacked. It was Akawa. This was during Goats. It was Akawa, Fried Wiener, Mir, Frill, who most people might know as Reiner,
Yeah.
uh, Karkar, and
Wow.
Haku.
Wow, that is a
So
stacked 2018
yeah,
roster for sure in
and
contenders.
there's a different Haku than the one now, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
Over the course of now that you've been, you were getting into your coaching, what was your favorite meta to coach, whether it's been Overwatch 1 or Overwatch 2 or both or you know.
I feel like every meta had like its own like thing. I think the most fun I had was on AT when it was just like we were defining the meta like all the time, just playing whatever we wanted, and then it ended up being really good. Like the ball Sigma stuff, I'm like 99% sure we invented that. There might be like some team that played it before us, but uh Real just really liked playing ball. And because the meta at the time was our double shield,
Yeah.
and he was really bored of Orisa, so he's like, all right, I'm just gonna play ball. And we're like, okay, I guess. And then uh so like yeah, just playing like terrible comps on AT and like still winning was like really fun, and trying to figure out how to do that because everyone just played what they were best at really.
Yeah.
And we were all just pocketing speedily. And then
Sure. Sure.
yeah, I mean, and then Goats was fun to coach because it was like meta for so long that it was actually became like a real sport where it was like we were like talking about
Right.
like which like order of like our formation of how we should be like walking out of a choke and like take the least damage, like
Yeah.
that kind of like we were getting like super in depth like crazy shit going on. So there's stuff now like if like you told a player the stuff we were talking about, they would like laugh at you. But there's
I know.
nothing in depth like that lasts long enough now, or that is as broken as Goats was,
Yeah.
that that would require that in-depth level of trying to figure out how to improve because everyone knew how to play Goats. So it was like you had to keep trying to find like something to make your guys better, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually just recently played in a Ghost tournament, so we
Yeah,
had a Cinderella story. We were at the bottom of the playoffs and we beat Citrus Nation. So
nice.
I mean, we then lost to them in the finals, but like, you know, as a no-name, Lucio
Still
player,
good to get there.
yeah, yeah, no Liquipedia points. I need those. I don't have a page.
Mhm.
um,
Yeah, I
speaking
still
of,
have the tweet up when Wub was my first friend to get a Liquipedia.
oh really?
And I still have a tweet up from like 2018. I'm like, wow, Wub got a Wikipedia.
Yeah,
It's like, what?
they definitely felt a lot harder to get back then. Like it felt like like only the very top pros, and not that like anyone can get them nowadays, but there's definitely like a strat to get enough points and that sort of thing that there are a
Yeah,
lot more people with pages.
I never really knew like the system or anything. I don't know. I don't, I don't want to sound like out of touch, but whenever I check my Wikipedia, I'm like, I don't even know who's like doing this stuff. Like, they had on there for a while. It said like American/Puerto Rican coach, and I'm like, I didn't like ever say that. Like, like I tweeted my dad won like this like Hispanic Achievement Award, so I
Oh
tweeted
wow.
that. I'm like, oh, I'm proud of you, Dad. And then I go on my Wikipedia and it says like he's American/Puerto Rican coach. I'm like,
They're just
guys,
sniping info. They're just
yeah,
like,
I'm
oh,
like,
this guy's Puerto
guy,
Rican. Add that. Add that.
yeah, I'm like, guys, I was born in America. I speak Spanish. I look white. Like, get this off my Wikipedia, bro. Like,
That's so
I
funny.
don't want to be a poser.
No, no. Look,
So,
I mean, if it's your lineage, that's what counts, right?
yeah,
And speaking of Puerto Rico, because I talked to you about this briefly in our DMs, but I was an assistant coach for Puerto Rico in the World Cup. You just recently applied to be a head coach for with the committee for Team USA.
yeah,
I'm also a head coach applying with Pakistan, which is really cool. But
nice.
I am completely white and American, so I would very
Yeah,
much like to see Teams USA succeed. Are you looking forward to that? Like, if you get the position?
yeah. I really want to like, cause I was the assistant coach in 2023,
Mhm.
and but the assistant coach wasn't like a real position. It was like just like they wanted me on the team, so and I wanted to work with the team. So it's like there was no official assistant coaches from Blizzard. Like the only
Right.
official people were the three committee people.
Hmm.
So like, I paid for like my own like hotel and like flights and stuff to go, and like I couldn't go backstage and stuff. So like it wasn't really like, I wouldn't say it wasn't real, but it was not like a full experience that I would want. Uh, and I
Yeah,
didn't feel like I had as much influence on the team as I could have. So
man. Like I mean, I kind of would have figured, because I remember same thing. Like, if you weren't on the committee, like they didn't pay for anything, but the fact that they wouldn't even let you go backstage or whatever, like with the team and all that stuff, that's just criminal. Holy crap.
yeah,
Well, so you got to go to BlizzCon, watch the team. Obviously, didn't have the
yeah,
result
I
that we
did
would
get
have
a free
liked.
ticket to BlizzCon. That was
Okay, well
one thing I got.
least they gave you that. Holy crap! Yeah,
Yeah.
that minimum. Let's give them a ticket to the event. Um, if like things could have been done differently, like what do you feel like was the biggest struggle? Like when you guys got there to top 8.
I mean, I don't know. I still don't really know what happened behind the scenes, to be honest. Once we lost, it's like, all right, we're out. Like, like I wasn't gonna like go grill Gator and Albert
Right.
about it because like I didn't even really feel that involved anyways. So like I was like, all right, well, they must have thought like they must have had a reason for all this stuff. But I think if I was, it's like really easy to be like a hindsight guy, but like because when you're losing, you always want to try and do something as a coach, but like
Hmm.
or try and make an adjustment. But I mean, there's just no way playing like UV and RuPaul at the same time is the best thing we could have been doing. Uh,
Yeah.
I know OG's like canceled and stuff, but like at the time, like he was definitely the guy that should have been in.
Right.
Uh, and even then, like benching Kalu's, like he had a lot of confidence issues, I guess. But I don't know. I think that's what I'm good at is like helping with players' confidence and talking to players through that kind of situation instead of just be like, all right, let's get in there super because like it was legit like a hard Sigma meta.
Yeah.
Glaze is
Yeah.
like the best American Sigma ever. Like I don't care what happened. Versus Saudi, we lose one game and suddenly we're throwing up the playbook like in
Hmm.
so yeah,
Interesting.
I did not like how that was done. I think sometimes doing nothing is better than trying to fix everything.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of the times, if with like losing to Saudi and that sort of thing, like at land, people will just be like, well, maybe there's just a different solution. Like we should just mix things up. And sometimes you don't need to. Like in some situations, it's really good if there's like a really clear, evident problem. But also, like the mechanics probably would have just spoke for themselves, right? And not that Super played bad or anything. The fact that he made
Yeah,
it on the roster is pretty impressive. That he hadn't been competing. So
yeah, it was just like I don't know, we got like macro gapped by Saudi, so it's like okay, whatever. Like they kind of just shit on us as a team.
right.
But then also playing versus what China was playing, like I think Cooley's Sigma would have like it required more mechanics playing first like Doomfist Tracer than just
Yeah.
playing like a Bastion Mei mirror.
Hmm.
And also I don't think we had the right like DPS line to play the meta at the time. I think we should have maybe tried to find like our own lane. I think that's what I've done a lot in OWCS is just like instead of trying to force what everyone else is playing, you know. I think I learned a lot from that World Cup in terms of that though, is like, you
Yeah.
know, to not just force meta or like force your team to try and fit stuff, like just play whatever we're good at, right? Like that's the and you've seen my teams always just do what the players think is best, you know. It's not like I'm
Yeah.
gonna sit here and be like, no guys, we're playing the meta.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't agree with that mentality more. Like, yeah, I mean, even at like it's all been proven before that anyone can play anything. We've all seen London Spitfire, one trick Ryan Rush. I mean, this was a while back, obviously, but we've
Yeah.
seen plenty of teams just like one trick a comp or play to their strengths and do really well. You know, and a lot of teams will just be afraid to take that leap or feel like, well, like this isn't as good into that because that's like broken right now. It's like, well, you can still play it. It's going to take
Yeah.
time to learn. Like you have to just trust the
Yeah, it's just
process.
harder.
Yeah.
I mean the season this past season, the 2025, like stage one of Nightmare, you know, everyone was playing Maga, pretty much in NA, except for us in SSG. And we're the two
Love to hear
people
that.
that made China,
Yeah.
you know, and then the next stage we're playing like Lifeweaver and you know, all kinds of crazy stuff. We're playing a lot of different comps, and then even on NRG last year, you know, we were playing the Junker Queen comp whenever I was playing Maga. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's actually like more annoying to be the team that does different stuff than to just be another like meta team.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a lot more challenges that come with it, right? Because like people are going to see it, and if you're playing a more suboptimal comp, it's easier for the meta comp to play into it, and you have to think a lot harder. Which I like. I'm not going to flame new gens, but I do feel like with Overwatch 2 that has been nerfed a bit. There is like some players I feel like that haven't been around as long struggle with some macro of just like how to play certain characters into certain comps at a disadvantage.
Yeah, I think well if like if your comp is like at a super disadvantage, like I think everything we played had like reason behind it. You know, like we
Right.
knew it could win. It wasn't just like we were trying to be different just to be different. It was like
Sure.
oh like we don't think our best chance to win is the mirror, right? So let's figure something else out.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, our characters are actually like really good into that, you know, what is meta. Like
100%.
Kuffa was like the best hazard in NA, so then we're like,
True.
okay, let's just play hazard into everything pretty much, you know, like let's figure out how to make it work, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I, d- man, I'm so shocked Kuffa's not on any team.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's tough because a lot of teams want the off like there's a lot of off tank like want right now. Like most people saw Twisted Minds and Alcad do really good last year, and they're like, all right, we need an off tank team. So,
Yeah.
and then in terms of fuel, I thought Kellen was more what we needed because I wanted a Korean flex DPS as well because I
Yeah.
think the role's really thin in NA at the top. So like once you're outside of Zira and Lenny, I think there's a huge fall off in NA.
Yeah.
So uh, definitely needed to import, and then having a front line, so like my flex DPS and my tank speak different languages is like pretty tough. So you know I wanted a lot of synergy between them. So
Yeah. Well, and Kellen has proven pretty much time and time again that he has got it in NA. So,
yeah,
he's played in the region tons.
yeah, I think a lot of people are like really over exaggerating like Kellen to be like part of the reason SSG didn't do too good there at that stage. They didn't make UWC. And then also I think even if people did blame them, I think there must be people that only watch NA and don't watch Asia because he actually improved a lot on onside gaming. Onside gaming did way better than anyone thought they were gonna do.
Sure.
So, and he was a big part of that. So
Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't even hear about that, that they were like blaming him for SSG not
yeah,
making it. That's kind of
like
criminal.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people just like when Dallas got announced, like oh, like like oh, this team, like would they get Kellen? Like this guy's never wins in NA. I'm like this guy's only won in NA. Like
Yeah, I was gonna say what?
I don't know what everyone's talking about, but whatever. I've never been on a team where people like saw the roster announcement and said this team's gonna win everything, and then
Yeah.
so
Other than
everyone is always
Falcons.
questioning.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you get whiplash going from OWCS to collegiate to, I mean, yeah, I guess between the two?
Uh, Collegiate's not like too hard because I'm friends with all the guys, so it's kind of just
Sure.
like showing up and like because we scrim like once a week maybe. We used to not scrim at all, like we're all just
Sure.
like playing pro, so we're like we don't need
Yeah.
to scrim. But now since Sam and Rack aren't playing pro, we kind of need to scrim every now and again to like get
Yeah.
them reps at like like the pace that the game can be at that you can't really get outside of scrims or like pro play. So scrim, but it's just like we hang out like every night, like we were always hanging out at each other's apartments and stuff, so we're all pretty close on Winthrop, so it's like
Yeah.
not like weird going back to it ever, really.
Okay.
Kind of
Yeah.
like really easy to just show up and be like mess around with my friends, I guess. It's a lot less serious than I think most people would think, I guess. You have to work harder and harder as a coach, like the worse your roster is, so it's like when your roster is like way better than almost everyone's roster,
True.
you have to work less and less, right? So like
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of the times I don't really have to like, do anything besides do the bans and like like know how the tournament works and like
Yeah.
get them there on time and then like all right, just go play. Like
Easy peasy, right?
for some of the harder teams, sure we'll have to do more like versus like Northwood or something. But
Yeah.
now that ISU is not competing anymore, I feel like it's pretty much just us in Northwood and maybe Fisher on a good day for them.
Yeah. 100%. Is it ever hard to find scrims for Winthrop, or is it almost easier?
Well, actually, this is the first time I'm on a team where none of my Winthrop players are on my pro team.
Oh,
So I can
yeah.
just scrim my own team.
Look, killing two birds with one
Yeah.
stone. Smart man. Smart man indeed.
Yeah. So we've been doing like a weekly Winthrop, Dallas scrim on Friday, but yeah, it ended up getting streamed last time because Rack got hosted. Rack had like 1,500 viewers. Like he got hosted like right before our scrim was supposed to start. So we were like, okay, you just keep the stream on, like we don't really care. So
Yeah.
then he's streaming our Dallas. But I looked at the chat after that scrim and I was like, wow, this is why no one stream scrims. Like anytime Winthrop would a fight, like wow, Dallas so shit. Anytime Winthrop would lose a fight, like wow, Dallas is so good. Like Winthrop so shit. Like
That's
like
hilarious.
yeah, like no one wants to read this while they're scrimming, bro. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
everyone always says, "Oh, I wish pros would stream," but like everyone's so negative every time there's any like
Right.
professional stuff going on.
I know, and everybody feels like when they're in these chats that they like, it's just like a free time to just move around and mess with people, like while they're in a block,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think people online in general don't realize that like the people they're talking about are like human beings. Yeah, like they
Yeah.
definitely like read all this stuff. And, all these kids are like 18 and 19. They're definitely searching their names on all these social medias and stuff. Like they're definitely seeing all this stuff about them that
Yeah.
people are saying. So
Yeah, 100%. So I was actually in where was it? DreamHack Atlanta, I'm pretty sure. And I met Rack Attack's parents at the hotel. It was really funny. It's crazy to see like parents that are that committed and invested with everything that's going on, like for their kid in esports. And there's some like that in Apex Legends as well that I've also met, funny enough. And it's just so, as you would know, being a part of the same generation, it's so hard to get that out of parents,
for sure. Yeah, when I was I mean, it was harder growing up. I think once I got a scholarship to ISU in like 2022, it wasn't even like full like Winthrop, like everything's paid for, like they pay for housing and school. But at ISU it was just tuition, which it's not just tuition, it's a lot of money still, but I had to pay for my own housing, so I had to like take out student loans. But the like once I got that scholarship, that's when my parents were like, okay, this is like some real. And this was after I'd been in the Overwatch League. Like I was in Overwatch League on Vancouver in 2020, and they're like, okay, it's like a part-time job, I guess, right? But once I once I got like a real scholarship to ISU, because I'd wanted to go to ISU anyways to become a teacher. That was kind of my plan after Overwatch. So being able to do both at once for a bit while I went there, uh, they're like, okay, it's real, and they don't really bother me about. They kind of, they're like bragging to all their friends, like, oh, you can go to college for video games, like, and I'm like, yeah, but growing up, like my parents are like, get off the game, go outside, like, like
Right.
do anything else, right? Like, so
Yeah. No,
I think a lot more people are accepting of it now that they're
yeah.
seeing. Like after like Ninja blew up into like the mainstream like gaming space and everyone just saw how much money's in it, it kind of like made people like be more okay with it, which I don't even know if it's a good thing because like everyone just expects so much money out of it, I guess. But
Yeah.
or that's all the parents would care about, I guess. But if it allows more kids to chase their passion of gaming, it's fine.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's so funny. It's like you get to the very top pro, and they're like, "Wow, like nice part time job." But then because I can relate. My parents were the exact same way when I was playing on scholarships for whatever no name school I was at. They're just like, "Wow, he's like getting paid to play video games," and they're like, "That's so crazy." So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Now they're like, oh, like they brag about me to all their friends. They're like telling their people I get to travel all these places. I'm like, you guys are switching up on me now.
yeah,
But it's fine.
yeah.
Sometimes you have to. I mean, I definitely get it because from their point of view, like video games were like just a lazy thing to do for
Right.
a long time, and there was no esports scene, so it makes sense that they wouldn't see like a end game thing with it.
Right.
And even then, ending up in a position where like where I'm at is like you have to get so lucky, regardless of skill, to end up in a position where you can like make a living out of it. So
What did you feel like whenever you started to coach and then like you get to the Overwatch League? Like, what was there a team or a moment where you were like, "Oh, this is my route in," or you were like, "Oh, I like it felt like you had the break." You were like, "Okay, this is the breakout moment." Like, what got you there?
I mean, all the way on second wind, I remember my first season not like just being a route recorder, like being an assistant coach. Uh, we were scrimming NYXL, and
Oh
it
wow,
was like 2018 NYXL, so it's like
yeah,
insanely stacked. And I took like a screenshot of the lobby. I was like so excited. I'm like, like I'm already scrimming these guys. Like I'll be pro one day. Like
yeah,
I'm with the right guys because I don't know. I just felt like we had like plot armor on second wind. Like we would just keep winning no matter what happened to us. So like at that point, I was just like, all right, I'm like with good people. Like, we'll if I can learn a lot from this and like keep improving, because we had a thing on second wind where like all of our players would get signed and then like no one would ever sign the staff for like years. So
oh wow,
when we eventually moved up to because that's back when there was academy teams, right? So we were like the
right,
best non-academy team.
yeah,
So we had a lot of success in tier two, but we would never move into academy, which was like the upper end of tier two. Like, so as coaches, we were doing it all for free on second wind. So
oh it sucks,
we would get a prize money split, but I
yeah,
mean, our players were also doing it for free. There was no buyouts, there was no contracts.
yeah,
It was legit. Like everyone's playing for free. Everyone's playing just to try and get signed to a better team. So it wasn't like we were mad when players get taken. That was like the goal of the team.
yeah,
But then, so we moved up to Vancouver eventually, and it was just like such a scuffed situation that it was like it didn't really feel like that's what we had worked all that time for, I guess. Like it was just like we were just like fillers to get like to land on the knife for the org messing up and like dropping runaway kind of
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah.
we kind of got thrown under the bus there, but I
Yeah.
ended up getting some kind of redemption in Toronto, even though we didn't do that good. That's when it really felt like I made it. Like I'm on a pro team living in Toronto,
Yeah.
doing this every day. Because on Vancouver it was during COVID, so I was still just at home. So it just felt like
Right.
big contenders, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, especially with like that it was tough for that 2020 roster for sure. And you guys were probably
Yeah.
scrimming contenders teams as well, right?
We scrimmed
Or was it mainly Overwatch
all
League?
teams and some contenders, but mostly all.
Oh, nice. That's good.
It's just tough because we had guys in Europe on ping. We had like
Yeah.
it was just a screwed up situation. But honestly, we didn't even do that bad for our situation. We won like 4 games somehow, and then the Titans the next year won 0 games. So or I think we won 1 game.
Yeah.
So I think we didn't do too bad for what our situation, because we legit built that roster in a day.
Yeah. That's
And then we were
hard.
supposed to have Kaluge as well, and then the org ended up backing out on having Kaluge
Really?
like at the last second, so then we ended up getting KSA.
I didn't know that.
Uh,
That's crazy.
but yeah, like our DPS line was Suna, Dalton, right? 2
Right.
Tracer players, because those were
Yeah.
because half of our team was under 18 when we got picked up, so we had and those were like our best players were all the underage ones. It was like Speedily, Ultraviolet,
Oh, yeah.
and then Kaluge wasn't underage, but they wouldn't take him. So we lost like our 3 best players when we went to Vancouver, right?
That's
So we had like
insane.
Shredlock, Dalton, and Rolf. And then they're like, okay, we got to build the roster in a day.
Yeah.
So we got this roster together, and we needed an Echo player. So the only reason Shockwave got signed like a day later is because he wasn't awake when we were making the team. Like that was like the time frame we had to make that Titans roster.
Oh my gosh.
So, Shockwave ended up joining and playing really well and like kind of being like our star player. But yeah, he would have probably been on the roster right away if he had been awake. But he's in Europe, so
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then so you were on Overwatch League, Vancouver, and then Toronto. And then so how long were you in the Overwatch League, and then when did you transition? Like what was the first, was it Nightmare was your first WCS team?
no. So I was in OWL for 2023. I was in OWL from the start, so like January to like mid-season, like maybe like June.
Yeah.
And then I coached this team called Triple Esports and Contenders, but it was like the Saudi scam org, so no one ended up getting paid. Like it kind of like fell apart. And
Oh
then
man.
there was that Flash Ops tournament in December, and we kind of reunited American Tornado for that.
Right?
And we got second. We lost to the Timeless team with like Paul and Honk and stuff. And
Yeah.
then after that, I got signed to M80, and I was on M80 for a day, and then all the Sam stuff came out, and they got canceled, so they dropped our whole roster.
Oh, I remember.
So I sat out stage 1 because I didn't really have a team. And then stage 2, I joined Students of the Game, and
Yes,
then we made
that's right.
Dallas,
I
and then
skipped way
became
too far ahead.
NRG. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
and then I coached NRG for the back half of 2024,
Hmm.
and then we didn't get. There ended up being no third partner slot in NA, so we ended up on Nightmare.
Which was insane. That
Yeah,
was insane.
yeah. So they
Biggest
kind of
fumble.
fumbled the NA spot.
Yeah, literally.
So I think, but it ended up working out for the best. I think, although the roster would have been really similar as to what because I originally approached UV. I'm like, listen, like no one wants either of us, so let's make a team, right? And then I was like, we should get Lethal because like
Yeah.
he's a beast, and like no one knows how good he is. He's never been on a good team, like with really good players. And then I approached Zira because I was like, like this guy's like coming to Winter off. He's up next. Like he's
Yeah.
he did really good last year, and you know, I was kind of just trying to figure out who didn't get picked up for the 2 partner teams and be like, all right, let's make a good roster. And then originally I wanted Rack Attack because we had just done really well in NRG, but the Lethal and Zira wanted Admiral, and it ended up being the right call. I think Admiral's turned out to be like probably the best Lucio player, and besides Funny Astro, but definitely the best in NA.
He's pretty insane. He's cracked.
Yeah, so he ended up being definitely the right choice. And then we actually originally wanted Heesung for tank, but because we thought we were gonna have a partner spot, so like, okay, maybe we can get him to NA somehow, like out of Korea. But
yeah,
once the partner spot fell through, he's like, all right, well, I'm not gonna play on ping and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I understand.
yeah, it's totally valid.
So then we talked to like few Korean tanks. Like we were like, oh, we really wanted this Korean tank, but none of them ended up being able to work out. And then the ISU guys were like, oh, let's just get Kuffa. Like, you know, he's good enough. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of how the roster formed. And then they went to Nightmare without me. Like pretty much they signed with Nightmare, and I didn't have a team for like 2 days, and I was like, damn, I'm like not gonna be on the team again. And then they lost this like qualifier match, and then Flack was like, okay, we need a coach, obviously. So he reached out to me, and then
Wow, that's wild.
we also wanted Ghoultech, so we're like, okay, he's like, can I just get you? I'm like, no, we need me and Ghoultech. And then working out, we get me and Ghoultech. And then, you know, the story unfolded from there. We did really well. So
yeah, that's crazy. So large patch coming up tomorrow, or well, a big developer update tomorrow. The patch for the game is next week. What are you hoping for?
Honestly, I don't even know like what to hope for at this point. Like I feel like all of my like dreams are like so like far out there that like there's no way they're possible. But like I don't know how they could do what I want without putting 2 tanks back in. So and I don't think they're ever gonna do that, right?
Really?
Because I just want like the tanks not to be, because tank is in this spot where it either has to be like this unkillable raid boss or it's like super fragile and not fun to play.
Yeah.
So and you know that didn't exist in Overwatch 1 because you could balance between the 2 tanks, but putting both of the tanks into 1 tank is kind of just like, I think it's been like a failed experiment. Like no one likes it. Tank players don't like it because you know they feel like they're either a raid. Tank players like it when they're a raid boss, but they don't like it when the tanks aren't in a good spot.
Right.
And then the other 4 players are like, this tank jumped on me. All I can do is run away.
Yeah.
In Overwatch 1, if a tank troll jumped on you, you could like headshot him like 4 times, he'd die, right?
Instantly dead.
And then in Overwatch 2, if a wizard lands on you with bubble, like you have to run away. If a diva flies at you, you have to run away.
Yeah.
Diva can fly at you and one-shot you and not die. Like there's just ridiculous things right now. And then I think Vendetta too. They've created like this super tanky DPS, so now there's like 2 tanks flying around the map pretty much. So yeah, I'd like to see Vendetta nerfs.
Yeah.
I'd like to see off tank nerfs. I think they're Diva and Zarya are both pretty crazy right now.
Yeah.
I think in big scope of Overwatch, I'd like to see them just like, I feel like there's a lot of changes they made for Overwatch 2 just to say that stuff was different.
Yeah.
They weren't actually better. It's like I like the old icons for Overwatch 1 and not even just nostalgia. Like
I agree.
It's like they just looked better.
I actually agree with you so hard on that one.
The old leaderboard was fine, and they've like messed up everything for high ranked players. Like all my players are like, I can't play ranked tonight. Like we finished scrims last night, and Liquipedia like, I can't play ranked, so I'm just gonna go play Deadlock, right? Like because he sits in an hour and a half queue almost every time he clicks choose support.
Oh my gosh.
So this is like the truth for every high rank, at least support player. I don't, because they're the ones I talk to the most. But like UV and Luke, both like the game's unplayable for them. And they're the highest rank on like several accounts. So
It's insane.
there's nothing left for them to like. They want to grind and they literally can't.
Yeah.
Because of this new leaderboard system.
It's so bad.
So
so bad.
yeah. So just put the leaderboard back, put the icons back, just call it Overwatch 1. I've seen some like stuff where they talk about like they're gonna call it Overwatch 1 again. I hope they do that. I hope they realize like, like don't really ask for like the story mode and stuff. Like, like all they kind of sprung all that on us and then like took it away and then like left us with a worse version of Overwatch. And it's like, what was the point really? Because you didn't do any of the stuff you said you were gonna do that no one asked for in the first place, and then you didn't make the multiplayer better, which is what everyone plays. So you actually just made it worse in almost every way for high ranking. At least I think for casual players, like maybe more players came in, but I think more players just came in because the game's free now. Like
100%.
If it was just Overwatch 1 and they made it free, like I don't think it would have changed the casual amount of casual players it gained. It might even gain more because the game's honestly more fun in 6v6. Like, so.
Wow, I did not know that you felt this strongly about this because I just talked to Derpy last episode and I know how he feels about 6v6, but it's really interesting hearing from a coach and then you saying that even players like that there's a lot of rumblings still about that to this day, like that it's that consistent.
I mean, honest, the analogy I always use is like Overwatch Esports isn't like the post-apocalypse, right? Like, so during Overwatch League, that was like when everything was fine.
Yeah.
Towards the beginning of Overwatch League, I guess. And then like COVID was like the bombs dropping pretty much. And then like everything's been downhill since then. But now we're in like a generation where like all the new gen players grew up not knowing what it was like before, right? So like they don't even know, like, I'm not gonna say how bad things are because honestly, I think Overwatch is like on the come. Like, I think we're actually improving a lot this year.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying like dead or anything. Like, I'm not saying like they don't know like that it used to be really good, but like Overwatch used to be like really, really, really like the best. Like
extremely good.
Yeah. So like that's why all the old people like me complain so much because it's like we know what was taken from us.
Yeah. That's so real, man. So you said you've heard some rumors that then do you think it's cope or do you feel like maybe some of them are credible that there might be something
my rumor base is like just like Twitter, like everyone else, like they don't tell us anything. So
really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean we found out a lot of news about like the season on Twitter just like everyone else, like as Dallas Fuel. Like it's not, there's a lot of stuff they don't tell us in advance. I think a lot of pros kind of burned the bridge with Blizzard and now it's kind of just never recovered. So
yeah, I would agree. I mean, and I actually talked to her about this too. Is like I feel like even in regular Overwatch League, the relationships were I guess better, but even the pros that go content creator, I felt like were never even given the same backing as like a lot of the just regular content creators that like went all in on content creation.
Yeah, there's been like one pro representative, like it used to be Poco, and now it's Rack.
Yeah,
right? Like, it's they'll allow one pro in, I guess, just to like
just one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they hate their pro players so like it seems like they do really because a lot of these pro players have the biggest streams in their game, right? Like
yeah.
Like if you click Overwatch section, the top like out of the top 8, sure you'll get like Yumong, Aspen, like those guys, but out of like the top 8 streams, like 3 or 4 of them are gonna be pro players that Blizzard hasn't really capitalized on like hearing from them. But I mean, even back in the Overwatch League days, like they had like dev feedback channels and like players would type like paragraphs about how Brig's broken, and the devs would be like, "We don't care." So, like,
right. It was just like kind of there. Yeah.
So the devs always say like like they like the pro players are the ones that like messed it up, I guess. But like I think if they actually took the feedback, that the people that like actually put their like I think pro players unironically put more time into Overwatch than the devs do. Like I don't think that's crazy to say. Like it's like our whole lives. There's no like vacation pretty much. Like we get like a month off a year.
Yeah,
Uh, and
100%.
that month is spent building rosters. It's like so
Right.
there's no actual off time from
Yeah.
this. Like this is literally our whole lives. So and I feel like they just don't tap into like this group of people that are like psychotically dedicated
Yeah.
to the game.
And
That
they
could
know.
tell them about it, you know? Like it's
Yeah.
like and I think that's what people also don't know about Overwatch 2 is there was this point where Overwatch 2 wasn't out for the public yet, but it was only out for pros
Right.
uh, at the start of Overwatch 2. So the first two stages of the first Overwatch League on Overwatch 2, which was 2022, the only feedback they had was pro player feedback. There was no ranked, there was no win rates to look at. There was
Yeah.
literally just they would talk to pro players, and then that stuff would come out in a patch, right?
Yeah.
And that was legit the best Overwatch 2 ever was.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the game came out to the public, like it's been like I think the balancing has just been so much worse than it was when all they had was pro players.
Yeah.
And I also don't get I don't mean to rant too much here, but
No, go for it.
when they talk about like kept balancing for pro players versus balancing for casual players, I feel like the casual player doesn't actually know enough about the game for the balance to matter literally at all.
No.
Like I feel like you could make like anything broken in pro play by
Yeah.
changing one number,
Yes.
but in casual play this stuff doesn't matter. And like I feel like every serious esport, like Counter-Strike for example, like they don't make the AK easier to spray
Right. Right.
because it's hard for casual players.
Yeah.
They just accept casual players suck at it, and they're never going to be good at it. So what's the point of catering?
Yeah.
Because if you made the AK easier to spray, the esport would be less fun to watch, right?
Right.
And like at the top level, the gun would be way too broken,
Yeah.
and it would ruin the game. But then in Overwatch, if something like Curie is like been broken since she came out,
It's awful.
but then they go and say, "Oh, the casual, she's picked the most,
They
and
love her,
win
yeah.
rate's under 50%, so like she can't be that good, right?"
All of her skins.
Yeah, and yeah. Well, the skin stuff is like what like I could see them saying like, "Oh, that's
Right.
just like conspiracy
Trying to
theory.
make
We don't
money.
balance around skins." Yeah, but, like,
Yeah.
so I could see them dismissing that. But the thing they can't dismiss is that this character's been pro meta since she came out.
Yeah. The entire time. But I mean,
They don't care because
yeah.
they balance for the casuals.
Yeah.
But if they nerfed her, the casuals could still play her, and she
Yeah.
might get played less in pro play.
Which is good.
So like I don't understand this like argument of like acting like casuals know enough about the game for the balance to actually affect them. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't affect them in any other game.
Right.
You know, so
And that's a good point about CS as well. It's like, I mean, is there a reason that that game has been one of the most popular esports for 20 years now? It's like, you know, Overwatch could learn from that
I mean,
in the balance
they
department.
had the R8, which was like their version of Brig back when I played. Right,
Gotcha.
it was this revolver that could one tap anyone.
Oh yeah.
You could moving shoot. It was accurate. It was
That's
$800. It replaced the Deagle, and you could like win op duels against the like with a pistol, right? And
That's
it shot through
disgusting.
walls. It was the most broken thing ever made. And they nerfed it in like 4 days. And they were like, "All right, well, my bad." And now
Yeah.
the gun sucks, right? No one uses it. So it's like, but Blizzard could never do something like that. If they release something like even like this like leaderboard update, everyone has universally said it's terrible.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we'll just keep testing it. You know, it's like this stuff only affects the top like 0.1% of players.
Right.
Like the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Like no one cares about the leaderboard besides pro players or
And then they
people
changed
in
it.
top 500.
Yeah.
And they changed it to make it worse. And then they just don't listen to the top players about their feedback about it.
It's insane,
I'm
man.
like, I don't get it.
Getting all hot and bothered. This is so annoying.
So there's definitely a lot of like stuff I have to complain about, but like
Yeah.
I do think Overwatch is in like a place where they're still trying. I know they're trying to improve the game, so that's what matters the most. Like back in the day in Overwatch, they were like standoffish. Like they were like actually, I think like against people, like where they wanted to do just what they wanted, and everything else was like like you don't know what you're doing, you're not a game dev, So now at
Yeah.
least I think they take more feedback than they ever have. So I think eventually it will be worked out and stuff, and
Yeah.
but yeah, so I don't want to just be all negative, but
No, I mean, and it's hard, right? As someone who you've been around and coached at the pro scene for 8 years now, like where you've seen the very peak of the game, and then it's just like slowly deteriorated. And there's been other things that have been improved and like listened to, and but then the balance of the game for the only people that it really matters for. Everyone's like, please fix this, and they're like, I mean, it's okay though, and like the casual
yeah,
people say it's fine. So it's like, why would there be no change? Ugh,
yeah,
golly. So it has to be frustrating. I mean, it is frustrating. I know it. And it makes
yeah,
me upset.
yeah. I don't know. I think I've been complaining on Twitter about Overwatch since like I was 18 years old, so I'm
Right.
turning 27 soon, so
Yep. I know.
it's been almost a decade of complaining on Twitter about the game. So, and I guess I don't know, it is better. They listen more, so
They do listen more. They do. That's a positive. And it's like, to play devil's advocate, what I was gonna say is like, well, is listening not at all and then listening somewhat, like barely, is that raising the bar?
yeah,
Yes, but also like, I mean, at least it's in a step in the right direction. So
yeah. But at some point, I have to look at the positives, because if
yeah.
not, I would just go insane and complain on Twitter all the time, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's just hard. Like, you've got like so many things, and esports in general can just be really negative, and like not even like criticizing devs and that sort of thing. I mean, even just within coaching and players, and everyone's,
yeah,
calling each other trash, or like, they're like, please tell me I'm trash, or like, you're garbage, you made this bad player, they're in their own head. So it's hard for us to like remain positive in esports, I feel like a lot of the time,
yeah,
and look at the bright side of things.
yeah. I'm trying to be the optimist these days.
Yeah. You have to be the leader of men, the leader of the American people, Weeds,
Yep.
as we go into 2026 for the World Cup, bro.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. No one wants to like listen to someone that's just bitching all the time, right? So like it's annoying. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, well, I try to limit my bitching to occasional
sure.
outbursts.
Yeah, which is totally fine. I'm glad you got to complain and rant about it, because it's also, it's extremely valid.
Well, I feel like I've said everything I just said before, but like it's been a while, so I had to
Right.
check it out again.
Hey, I'm glad. I'm here for it. How actively involved are coaches? Like, is Blizzard with coaches and orgs? Like, are they at all, or like, is it just an occasional pop in, or on any scale?
Actually, when you first sent me that question, I was thinking like, oh, not at all, and then I was like, actually, last winter after Sweden, after it was the manga meta,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and everyone's like, it's gonna be manga meta forever, like buffing this character.
Right.
Everyone couldn't see a future where manga wasn't just broken forever.
Right.
The devs are one of the admins that works at Blizzard. Actually messaged me and a few other coaches and asked us like, why we think manga's broken, and like if there's like any changes that we could think of for manga, or like any other like game stuff.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah, I
fantastic.
definitely wrote like a pretty long thing about manga for them, because I
I'm
really
glad
hate
you
that
did.
character.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, I hate that
Yeah.
character too. He's awful.
We did get to the start of 2025. Yeah, last year 2025. Like still kind of in the manga land, but I think they've kind of gotten
Yeah.
rid of him for the most part.
I sure hope so. Because I mean, he's one of those characters that like is like, even that he's not super good right now, you could still like play him and find value. Which is the same argument for Kiriko. Is like,
Yeah.
people will play them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like manga's a pretty good example of like they could nerf the shit out of this boring character and allow other more fun characters to be played,
Yeah.
or whatever you think is fun is like subjective, I guess. But like
Right.
any one character becoming hard meta is pretty boring.
Yeah.
Like people want to watch different stuff. Also, I apologize if you hear people start screaming. Liquid just started screaming, so
No worries. No
Zero
worries.
and Infected are sitting next to me, so they're probably gonna be pretty loud. But yeah, just like manga's what they could do to Kiri, and in pro play, who might fall off, but in casual play, people still play Maga and just win games, and people go, "Oh, you're so cringe. You're playing Maga. It's so broken." But they
Yeah.
nerfed him to hell, and no
Yeah.
one even knows it.
Yeah. 100%. It's so funny. Um, what's keeping you motivated to like continue coaching? Like, what are you looking forward to? This entire time. Like, do you feel like you're not that you have a retirement plan or anything, but does it feel like it's coming to a slow halt, or are you just like super motivated? Like, I mean, you're peaking right now, in my opinion. So
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm just not done. Like it's like
yeah,
I don't. I still love the game. I still think about it all the time. Like I love competing more than anything, really.
yeah,
I grew up playing football, and then I ended up getting injured, so I couldn't play football. So I was like, I need to find a way to compete.
yeah,
And I think this has been my competitive outlet, like
yeah,
in life. And I don't feel any like burnout or anything. Like I feel like I actually feel really motivated this year because it's like this whole brand new team.
yeah,
It's the Dallas Fuel are back. Like it's like a really exciting time. Like, and I think I'm finally at a point in my career where I'm like, uh, the only thing I have to prove is like international success more. But even then, I think I've still had a few good results. So
yeah,
I don't really feel like I have to prove anything. I don't know. For a long time, a lot of people question my abilities as a coach because I always had really good rosters.
yeah,
So I think these past few years, like not having the favorite roster at the start of the year and then having really good success, I think I've kind of proved like, I'm like an asset to teams and like I'm a good coach. So now it's just like, okay, I just get to coach, like I don't really have to worry about fighting for my life to be on teams and stuff.
yeah, 100%. Um, I mean, does that also feel daunting at all? Like that's fantastic to hear that you're super motivated. But I think it would be crazy, or for me myself, it must be insane to like think about the Dallas Fuel and their legacy and like how well the ups and downs that the roster had early Overwatch League and just like how iconic that name
Yeah.
is. How does that feel?
I think I'm actually like the only person in the world with the experience of this because I coach Shock too.
Yeah,
So like I coached Shock when they came back, and like we had like this crazy fan base, and uh Overwatch Esports ended up not going forward with NRG, so Shock's kind of dead now,
yeah,
and I get the chance to do it again with Fuel. Like I'm like we're bringing back like all these fans, all these people saying like, oh, I did, Fuel's back. I'm back to watch Overwatch, so.
yeah,
It's actually so nice. Like, I think it actually helped me in recruiting to be on Dallas Fuel. Like, everyone knows Envy's an awesome org. They take care of their people.
yeah.
Everyone knows even uh, like we go to lands, like we're gonna have the most fans. Like,
True.
as when I was talking to CJ and Chronic when I was recruiting them, I told them like, you remember because CJ had been on Nightmare and played against us in Sweden when I was on Shock.
Yeah,
And every time we would get a kill on NRG, the whole crowd would pop. Every time someone on Nightmare died, like we're the crowd's freaking out. Like like
yeah.
treat opening pick 0 on Widow on Circuit,
It's
and like the
amazing.
crowd's going nuts. I'm like, that's what it's gonna be like to be on Dallas. Like these people love the Overwatch League. Like a lot of these people are still here from the Overwatch League and miss it. So like any part of it, people will be fans of.
Yeah, 100%.
And then I think, and like Dallas had the craziest fans
Yeah,
the whole time. So like,
true.
like so be getting to like I guess represent them and be like, you know, the reason they're happy or sad or like they're cheering and that kind of stuff. It's really exciting. I
Yeah,
like playing with more stakes like that. So
yeah, 100%. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I mean, it's been fantastic getting to talk to you. I really appreciate you coming on the show and like getting to give so much insight. Also, really validating to hear all these opinions from you and like as an old, old gen, because we're not unks, obviously, Wheats, of course.
yeah.
Just about the game and your take, like with Overwatch, just how you feel about the game was just fantastic to hear. So, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, of course. Well, I hope you have a good day. You gave scrims tonight, right?
Yeah, I actually don't.
Oh, well.